How to be alive if you can't do that.
It's not something that you can just make up about yourself. You have to be able to show that you are as strong as you say you are. Especially if you're competing in strongman.
He's like Dan in that he. Yeah. All right, ready to rock?
Holy shit, it's like my dick.
Red like that?
Just ratty floppy.
All right, here we are, episode 71 of the Strong and Petty podcast here at the Iron Age Gym in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. We've reached the end, kind of like officially, of the Strongman season in Manitoba.
You got a hat on, eh? I want to fit in.
That's not gonna fit your giant head. It's weird seeing you wear a hat. You never wear a hat.
Nah, some comms. Keep going.
Okay.
Just want to fit in.
All right, you're fitting in very well. It's not weird at all. So we've reached the end of the Manitoba Strongman season officially here. We just had our there you go. We've had Strongman Provincials. A very successful event, the most successful one that we've had. It was the most people we've ever had sign up for Provincials in Manitoba.
36 signed up, 30. Well, we had 3 not show up.
Who's the? Well, we'll talk about it afterwards. But there was a third who didn't show up, right?
Yeah, there's
okay. I had two.
Yeah.
We've never had somebody no show a competition for us.
Dan Sersky, he no showed Vita. We did change the time, but he no showed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
probably had a haircut appointment or something.
Then I take it back. We have had it once, but we had 3 at this last competition, which we've
never had that.
I thought that was the strangest thing. I was like, there's.
And I went through our DMs to them, and they all confirmed, we're excited to come, and they paid. They paid.
So
just didn't show up.
Just didn't need the money, I guess. Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we it was a really, really great day in Winkler. We were inside the Meridian Exhibition Center, which is like a really if we were, and we won't, to do nationals again in Manitoba here anytime
that would be
soon.
where we're doing it.
That's where we would do it. We would just do it there
because I wouldn't have had to buy Florida.
Yeah. It was cut in half with a big the gym curtain, but if the whole thing was run there, that would have been really sweet. Actually,
great Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and it was just the bleachers and nothing but respect and love for the Minto Armory, who hosted us very, very well.
Yes.
But that might be where I would just do it and just do it in Winkler, Manitoba.
It definitely would have been a night. Like Minto was great, and the Coliseum seating was really nice.
I did like that too. Yeah.
But this had windows the whole way, so nice bright atmosphere.
Yeah.
Well, Minto had really high ceilings, but just the floor, they had these mats in there that they drive combines on.
Yeah. We were dropping all kinds of shit on there. So,
yeah, man,
so thankfully they didn't give a shit. It turned out really, really well. We were really happy with it. On a personal level, I had a really great turnout from my athletes. We had a lot of good podium spots and a lot of first places in divisions and such, which I was really, really happy with. We saw more competitors in different divisions that we normally don't see. The one that jumps right to mind is the U64 women's, which we've always only ever had mama.
Yeah, that was kind of nice. Finally, someone for her
someone to compete against. Yeah, and so that
was good.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that this is the start of something new where we just start to see more. I think the more women that we have, the smaller women, the 64 women, who other women see them compete, they're gonna be more likely to jump in and see that because it's just like, this isn't a sport just for giants; it's a sport for absolutely everybody.
With how busy our women's division was all year, not much at Provincials.
No, we did see a little bit of a drop in our attendance at Provincials, but
like U73 didn't show up.
That was our other no show.
Yeah,
that's right.
She didn't show up. One of our masters didn't show up. U82 we had 1.
Yeah, we
U64 we had 2 luckily, which is the first time. Well, Lexi did, but she didn't do Provincials. She did earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And then our open women's was Ariel's injured, so that sucks. She had a pull out.
Yeah.
Who do we have an open? We had
Aaron and then we had Emma.
Yeah, and Matt and Aaron.
Both of them. We're gonna go through the divisions and stuff, but we had it was awesome. And thanks to everybody who came out. Thanks to the sponsors for it. Prairie Sky Promotions, Right Way Rentals, Bar Italia in Winnipeg. We had a fun little after party afterwards.
Suppman King Winkler
really stepped up last minute with that one. That's worth mentioning. Was that there was a last minute sort of issue that we had where normally Supplement King, Steinbach, or Winnipeg are very, very ready and very, very willing to give us the prize packs that we give to our athletes, and there was some crossed wires where they're not technically allowed to, step on another Supplement King's
Well, because they're
turf.
franchises.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was a Supplement King Winkler. I didn't even know that, to be honest with you. So they're like, we can't promote there when there's already one within a certain whatever.
Yeah.
So we said shit. So me and Devin kind of cleaned out the shelves and the storage units for both of our gyms and just loaded bags with stuff and tried to give as much as we could with that. And I don't mind telling you, they were kind of lacking the gift bags. Like we just got what we could, right? And we ended up spending a fair amount of our own money on it and stuff, which is not anyone's thing, but just like that's why we couldn't go too crazy with it. And luckily for us, Ryan Fraze has a link with Supplement King and Winkler there. Ryan Fraze with the Forge Gym, check them out. And they came through in a big way. They came with a big box of shaker cups and tumblers. Some supplements and a bunch of samples.
Like, shit, if I knew it was this many people, I would have brought way more.
Yeah, she that to her credit, she was like, I would have even done more if I'd known. But she already came in through in a huge way. So thank you very much to Supplement King Winkler. They really made that show happen for us in a lot of ways.
Speaking of Winkler, like they committed to next year.
Beautiful.
I don't know if I even told you that.
I don't think so.
No, they talked to me after the show. The whole director of the whole fair.
So now we know Vita next year, Winkler next year, already locked in, good to go.
Guaranteed. Winkler probably Provincials again.
Probably. Yep.
Just because of timing.
Yep.
Vita's ready. I know I had a guy. I messaged on the Manitoba page asking. So people don't know me and Tyler both run the Manitoba page, and we both don't run the Manitoba page.
Yeah.
If also your story doesn't get shared, it's because neither of us checked the Instagram for 2 days.
Yeah.
I just went on saying there was like 13 stories I didn't share, but I couldn't see them.
I often feel bad for that because we really love that you guys tag the Manitoba Strongman page and stuff. I love that you're keeping it active. I love that you're like including us in your stories and posts. So if we and I do this with my own page with the gym too. If I ever don't share your stuff, it's nothing to do with you. It's nothing to do with your content. It's nothing to do with anything except for that we just didn't check the page that day.
That's Tyler saying that I don't share half your shit as your content.
Because I hate it. Because I hate it and I hate
you. There's some guys, and I love the guys because we're buddies, but they share like 30 stories a day, and I'll just pick one. I'm not sharing all 15 of your stories you deadlift in your underwear.
I share them all because I want them to be seen by everybody.
I would be honest, I don't. Tyler's a better man than me.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, they confirmed.
Okay,
great.
Supplement
King confirmed they want to be on board next year there as a sponsor in Winkler too.
So we're starting to see the next season already kind of starting to come together.
Oh yeah, sorry, I missed it. I had an international guy message on Manitoba Strongman page. That's where I was going with that.
Okay.
And he said, "Hey, like, do you guys allow international athletes compete in your shows?" And I said, "Yeah, we do. Like, we definitely do. Yeah. You won't qualify for SCC or whatever else, but we'll still let you compete."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Are there any confirmed dates next year to start planning?" So I said, "Yeah, July 1st, which will actually be in June 20. It's a Sunday actually, so I think it's actually June 30th next year."
Yes, that's right.
Because the Canada Day runs on the Tuesday.
It won't be on Canada Day. It'll be on the weekend before. So that's actually it's kind of I like that a lot better, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna happen Westerns too. They'll drop that probably back to the weekend.
They haven't before.
They just think they'd run it on Tuesday.
It's always been on Canada Day. So
yeah, you'd have nobody watching.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a weird one.
The whole Canada Day thing's weird this next year. Because it's midweek.
I wouldn't do it that way.
Yeah.
I would do it on the weekend, but they're going to do it how they're going to do it, so we'll have to see.
So, I said July 1st, it's on. So, because I checked some messages, you checked some messages, so actually, who knows which messages each of us get.
Yeah.
So
you get the Jekyll and Hyde of
you never know who you're talking to.
Manitoba Strongman.
So make sure you trash talk both of us equally on the DMs, just in case you get the other guy.
That's something that I'll say is you never know who's reading them. So so be careful what you say on there and who you're talking about. So we so we're starting to see the schedule come together. We've already had people asking about the novice competition next year, which is like thrilling in a new way, where there's like anticipation for the strongman.
Yeah, I had girls at the comp. I'm doing the novice next year.
Yes, so that's really thrilling. We got guys in my gym here who have just started lifting and are asking me about the novice competition, which is like the perfect thing, right? So I love that, and I love that people are starting to think about it already next year and get excited for it. So we the novice, it's far enough away now, but it'll be in April. The log comp will be in March. We have those that are staples that are kind of like dip your toe in, get used to the idea of competing. And then probably the month after that, we'll have our first actual competition. But we're looking forward to that already next year. But we're still so far from that.
So if you're a listener of this show, and you are part of a group that puts on a fair or something in anywhere in Manitoba, outside of there's certain months that are busy, but if it's earlier in the year, we're always looking for
absolutely
a different venue early in the year or really late in the year, something like that. We'd always just throw something in.
And this isn't charity. We'll do business with you. We're trying to work with people in these communities to bring Strongman to there, and we're not asking you to do it for free. We'll just say that right now. So there's 3
confirmed shows already.
Yeah.
So we have Vita.
Yeah.
Magnus.
Yeah.
or Gimli, whatever we're doing with that, and Winkler's already guaranteed, and Deadlift for Dreams.
Deadlift for
So like, we got
Dreams.
4 events, strength events already booked for next year based on the feedback. And I should say Morris wants us back next year too.
Very likely.
So we got 4 Strongman shows booked.
Yep. We're like the grip thing is going to be an annual thing now. The novice competition is an annual thing.
Oh yeah, the novice. We got 5 shows.
The season fills up very quickly.
The season's full already.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. If you want to compete, you can compete 5 or 6 times already next year, which is just fantastic. The growth of the sport never ceases to amaze me here in Manitoba. I want to get to those BC numbers. They have like 100 and something people at provincials.
That's disgusting.
Isn't that insane? I mean, they have a whole different thing than we have, where they have more like different populated areas with more people.
Like we would have to run 3 lanes or 4 lanes like nationals again to get it done in time.
Yeah, absolutely would. What we need to make something like that happen is somebody in the north doing strongman.
Yeah,
we would need somebody in Thompson or somebody in like Portage or like the Paw.
Well,
or
Lane up in Roblin, he's trying to get the show together for next year at their annual rodeo thing.
Yeah, that's a good example of it. And that's,
if you are from the north and list a show and you want to host a show, hit us up.
Yeah, talk to us because there's always options. We can always. I would really, really love to get a competition to Northern Manitoba. I think that would be really, really awesome.
Yeah.
If we could do like a pro show and bring some guys to Gillum or bring them to
some
Thompson,
monsters up there.
Just have them experience the Northern
host
Manitoba
a show
experience.
at the Thompson Inn.
Yeah. Oh. That would be beautiful.
Sean
Hayes and Tamara Nolan from BC are both from Thompson. They're both pros out there who are from Thompson.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you never know. Maybe see a return from the hometown heroes there.
Wow.
That'd be pretty solid. But we're looking forward to that. So anyway, get back to provincials though. The comp, like, I don't think that there was a division that wasn't compelling in some way.
No, they were all
great. Like we talk about like Natasha and the teen boys. The teen boys was a very competitive
even
division.
Jenna competing by herself, unreal.
Yeah, the people who are by themselves, but the people who are by themselves, it's like their own story where it's like they have to push themselves in a way that's different than everybody else.
Yes.
Because you're just there to do the best you can that day, and there's nobody to make you do that. You got to want to do it, right?
Yeah.
So the teen boys was like very compelling. Won by Ryder Joy, who's like
kid strong,
very strong. Like I think he's 16 or 17.
Yeah, he's older than the other ones.
Maybe 17 then.
Yeah, because Chris's boy is what?
He's 16, I think.
He's 16, yeah.
15 or 16.
And Bosco's 15.
Yeah, so I would almost encourage Ryder. It might be time just to jump into the
next year.
The men's division.
He should be he should be in the men's division next year.
Yeah, because he did really, really well, and I think that he has the potential to, get his butt kicked a couple times in that open division, but get better for it.
How heavy do you think the kid is?
How heavy? I would put him.
Gotta be 230 to 250.
I'd put him probably around that. I'd say 220, 230 probably because he's not super tall.
Yeah.
But I would put him in the 105 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, he'll get his butt kicked a little bit, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, man, that's
And the Natasha and the teen girls there, she's just really nice. I like her. She's the same deal where she's there competing by herself. Had a couple zeros, which is the first time that we've had that in competition for her.
Yeah.
And I think that that's all part of the experience too.
Yeah. I mean, we can adjust for next year, but we didn't know what to even put down for weights for certain events. We have one.
But we didn't just pick out of our ass. We met with her dad and the people she trains with and stuff, and be like, hey, what's appropriate, what's realistic, and we tried to set things, and sometimes they're just not there, right?
So it's not the worst thing. Taking a zero.
No, it's not. It's all part of the competition.
It's going to build some character.
Absolutely.
And it's going to push her to train a little harder this off season.
I've taken zeros from my very first year to last year, so you know what I mean. It happens. Awesome to watch. We love having these. Like, I say it every time that we have a competition. It's our first year having teen competitors, and we had like 6 this year, which is just amazing. It's just great. Like, so it's really encouraging to think about the future of the sport when we already have these young people who are getting involved. When for a long time the average age was like 30.
Yeah, the young guy was. Yeah. We were the young kids coming.
Well, that was the thing. Was that like back in say like 2015, 16, there was me, Deloli, Ammo, Dom, Big Mike. And Big Mike and Dom Big Mike and Ammo were both like 24, I think.
Yeah.
So they were like the young guys, and that is young. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But there wasn't like teenagers doing this.
Not
not back then.
No.
Because they were all playing football still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was usually the McDowell's sort of like route, was that you played football, you finished with that, then you tried some strongman or powerlifting or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we had in our lighter divisions, we had the U64, which was a very fun competition to watch because, like I said, for the first time, Mama had some competition with Sabrina there.
Yep.
Great to see them compete. Great to see Mama have to push herself a little bit harder, and great to see And I don't mean to make Sabrina seem like some sort of sacrificial lamb, because she was there and she was working her ass off. But it was just nice to see Mama's hard work to show that she is good at what she does.
Yeah, because when you compete by yourself every time, oh, Anna lifted this again, that's cool, and we know that it's a good number.
Yeah.
No one in the crowd knows.
No, it's hard.
Oh, it's a
hard.
small little. No, like Anna's not a massive girl. Small girl. She lifted cool weight, but no one understands.
Yeah.
Now, having Sabrina there, it actually you could see comp experience come into play in some of the events. You actually could see the technique difference between, because Sabrina, it's her first year.
And she did great too. I love watching her.
Oh,
compete, yeah.
And she did really well for her first year.
Yep.
But then you could see the difference in just comp experience.
For sure,
which was nice that Anna could finally showcase that.
Yes, I totally agree. Yep, I completely agree.
We've always seen it, but now the fans can see the difference.
The crowd can see it, absolutely. Yeah. And then on our light side in the men's there, we had Emmerdale, who was by himself. Competed at the U90 weights, because that's just the kind of guy that Emmerdale is. Like, he doesn't give a shit about that kind of stuff. He's also strong enough to do it.
Yeah,
which is awesome too. He had a great day.
When he hits goal puberty and hits that growth spurt.
Yeah, he's gonna really have something.
Guy's just 6 feet tall. That guy is gonna be something.
I love watching him compete. Friendly, happy.
He comes up, high fist bumps us.
Always.
You guys are putting on a great show all the time.
Always. Yeah. He's always just. He joined my gym this year, and he's turned into one of the real bright spots of our gym. And then on the other side, we had the women's the 73. Unfortunately, we had one competitor for that who didn't show up that day. Not sure what happened with that. I hope they're okay. We haven't heard anything or anything.
I haven't heard nothing yet.
And then on our men's side, the other one, we had the 90s, which was populated solely by Tom Pahal, Iron Image. We love Iron Image.
Is that how you say it's Pahal?
Pahal.
I was always like Patchel.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I felt really bad.
No, yeah. I only know because I've heard some other people say it.
Okay.
But he showed up, represented his gym very well, was in good spirits the whole day, lifted a lot of weights.
Another really strong guy.
Yeah, did a great job.
Yeah.
He was I love seeing Iron Image getting involved in the strongman stuff, because they've been very involved in powerlifting. They're probably one of the more involved gyms in powerlifting in the province. And I just like seeing them, like Ryder and Aiden, the two teens, are from their gym.
Yep.
Obviously Langelar,
Michelle and Adam.
Yep. And Tom. Like there's getting to be a nice roster of people coming from there.
Yep.
And it's really nice. I just love seeing it's one thing to see one person repping a gym, but it's another thing to see 5 or 6 people repping a gym. It's awesome. So thanks to him for being a good leader.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Which I think is
leading by example.
Yes, I think that's a really important thing to take from that, is that it's easy for him to be like, hey, yeah, go do this competition or whatever. But for him to be like, I'm not familiar with this sport, I'm not super practiced with it, but I am going to go out and give it a shot. That's exactly the kind of leadership that we need in our gym people.
Yep.
And if you run a gym, or if you're a coach or whatever, take notes. You should be doing that too.
Yeah.
So we had on our women's U82 Jenna Dar, who came in she's like, I love coaching her, because she's the most just like nose to the grindstone, shows up, comes here after work, brings her dog sometimes, lifts weights, and gets the fuck out. She's very here to do her business. She gets better and better as she goes, and this year was better than last year, and last year at the end was better than the beginning. Like, she just continually improves. Love having her out there. She's great. Again, that problem, if you want to call it that, where you're by yourself out there, makes it a little more challenging.
Yep.
But she used her numbers from last year as like a
reference point to beat.
Yep. Yeah, to beat. So that was awesome. The women's open was, unfortunately, like we said, only populated by 2 people. We had an injury that took out Ariel, who would probably have been considered a favorite to win. But man, the way that Erin performed, and Emma did a great job too. And Emma's so young she's so new that she has so much potential.
Well, they both did the novice this year.
Yes, exactly.
These are 2 girls who went novice.
Yeah.
Tolstoy.
A lot of this roster was on the novice competition.
They did novice, Tolstoy, Vita. They did every comp this year.
Yep.
They did everything.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point.
They both did against each other every comp.
Yep. That's worth acknowledging, that there are very few people, but there are people who did every comp that we had this year.
Yeah, and they ran in.
Great.
Had a lot of fun. And Emma's really, Emma's a person who's very excited to be in the sport. You can tell, like, when she gets involved in something, she's kind of 100 mile an hour into that direction.
Sure.
Which is really nice, because the camaraderie between the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
You could very much sense that they were competing with and not against each other.
Yes. Yeah. Which is cool, because a lot of sports, Man, and women have more. You can get that cattiness and that in certain
sure,
sports. With no offense, but especially with the women, can get real like that. It's not like that at least not in Manitoba. And when I look at our pros in the West, I don't see none of that. But I also don't know a lot of the politics.
I mean, I don't either, but I don't see it. And that's important.
I've never heard about it, so I don't see it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just believe that it's not there.
Yeah, like from what Anna described going out west there, the women were all very encouraging, all very nice. Especially as you get higher up the rankings, I think they actually get.
Well, that's the thing too. We had
nicer.
We had Anna missing. We had Ariel missing.
Yeah.
In our open division.
Yeah.
Anna probably would have jumped in the open anyways.
Yeah, she would have probably.
Shout out to whoever returned her gear. She got robbed on the weekend.
Yeah, well, yeah, she competed on Saturday at Olympic lifting meet the same day that we had provincials. Wakes up that morning, car window smashed, her gear bag. Like, it's like you kind of want to be like, well, I guess there's a bright side to this because her gear was taken, not her work tools. Yeah. Which, okay, but whatever.
Makes no sense in a theft in Winnipeg.
No fucking sense. But and then again, like a little bit of a bright side to it. With the exception of her shoes, it was all recovered. I think the shoes and maybe there's one other thing.
Yeah, and some guy's front lawn. He put it on, and she got it back before the comp, I think, right or no?
No, she competed. She had to do a little bit of a lost and found for the comp, but she still competed well that day. So we're very proud of her for that. But that's Winnipeg.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, it's Winnipeg. It's shitty when you do everything right. You lock your fucking car, and then they just smash your window. What do you?
We had that this morning in town in St. Malo. I'm driving to work. Before I got in my truck, checked my phone. And so it's supposed to there's a lady with a mask, walking, checking the vehicles in the development next to mine.
Oh, really?
And for shit's sake, and then she was in one van. Someone caught her in a van. Then one lady comments, well, did you offer some food and water? Because that's probably why she's doing this, because she's hungry. And I'm like, no, she needs her legs broken, actually.
Yeah, no.
That's the common woman in the area who steals.
Yeah,
and that's just catch and release.
Don't do this fucking, they need this and that. If they need this and that, they can ask for this and that.
Yeah, I'd give them some food.
Absolutely. That's it. Yeah, that's a different thing. If they came to your house and was like, I'm fucking starving and thirsty, you'd be like, well, here, I'll give you something.
Well, you come and touch my golf cart.
Then it's trouble. Yeah. You're in big trouble.
Sucking on a 12 gauge.
The women's open was very good. Erin is I've been coaching her, and she's again somebody who just works hard, and she also helped us secure one of our sponsors for that competition. So thank you, Erin. We appreciate that. But she really a pretty dominating performance, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what she can put together.
With a good off season.
Good off season, some more practice. Nationals. I know she's not doing nationals this year, but nationals next year in Calgary. Hopefully, it's a little bit more feasible for her schedule and her budget, because I would love to see how she stacks up with a year's time. In our 105, we had Garrett, who normally competes as low as U80, doing 105. Yeah. And Garrett, I know you're listening. You compete very well at 105.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he and this isn't exclusive to him, but I just see it with him. He does these cuts. His strength takes a real dump, and he never lifts as well in the competitions as he does in the gym.
And the risk of injury,
it's quite high. And
see what happened in Nationals. I know he listens, but dehydration affects a lot of those muscle tears or tendon tears.
So I really enjoyed watching him compete at the 105. He did a great job.
Yeah.
Clinton and Chris Weeb, both showed up. They both We've's been dealing with a broken foot for the better part of the season, so respect to him for grinding that out. I know that no one gets away unscathed in that one, because Clint has his back issues and stuff too. And
he was later on with the cane that day.
Yeah, I saw.
I'm like, he's like, he has some previous history with his back. He's got some vertebrae that are blown up, and and it's a passion thing. But great, our U105 division was competitive all day.
Yeah, and all guts too. Just a lot of really tough finishes, and I really enjoyed watching that. Our 120 division on the men's side, won by Ryan Deloli, again, competed last year as a 90.
Yeah.
And coming up to the 120 and a very convincing win too. Yeah. Did a really
that's the guy who's yo-yoed the sport from top to bottom.
Yeah.
I don't know, has he ever done U80? No,
he never went that low.
Because he was open, when we competed, he was 270 pounds back in the day?
He would have been about, I would say he's about that high. Maybe even a little higher, maybe closer to 280, maybe.
But I remember when we competed, and then he dropped down all the way to 198.
Yep.
And then now back up to U120, but he didn't weigh 120. What did he weigh coming in the comp?
Oh, he was probably closer to 210, 250.
I was going to say, he probably sits around the 210 mark.
Yeah, but he really showed up, really performed. I was really happy with it. He's
explored all aspects of our sport.
Yeah,
even the women's side.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. What's that?
So even the women's
side. The women's side, yeah, absolutely. He's a guy where I like watching him compete, because he's really jumped into the idea that he needs to be very technical if he's going to be smaller.
Yes.
And when you watch him with the sandbag to shoulder, when you watch him with the keg loading at Tolstoy, you watch him, with
comp experience, man.
Yeah, we've been fixing up his deadlift a little bit and stuff too, and trying to give him a little bit more mobility in his lifting. And I think it's really helping with him. So I'm really happy to see that he's just performing the way that he is. I was very happy with that finish.
Been in the sports 12 years.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I think
maybe longer. Maybe
2011 or
maybe
2012
13.
he started.
Yeah. So even a little longer then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. So, and then in our men's open division. Wait, before we get to that one, the women's masters, we had Kelly taking second to Michelle. And I told Kelly this too, that like you getting second out of 2 does not tell the story of how compelling and competitive that division was, where Kelly was on Michelle's ass for a lot of it, taking her on some of the events.
There was only 1 point difference.
Yeah, and so it was a really, really fun competition. I wish there'd been a couple more women there just to shake things up a little bit more with the points, but it was really, really fun to watch them, and I was over the moon with Kelly's performance as my athlete, and then just watching them both compete the way they did was awesome. It was really, really exciting. Our Masters lightweight, we had 4 guys in that one. Jan took.
I got to shout out the Masters women. So Michelle had came to my gym 2 weeks out of Provincials. Okay. And like she's got some previous injuries from previous life experiences that really screw up. And her pressing's always struggled with her shoulders, right? So we're working on, me and Adam, because I coach Adam, we're working on the Viking press, and his goal is just like, Devin, I'm going to get 1 rep. And I'm like, I love you, Adam. Like, he's like, I'm like, what's your 1 rep max? It was like 60 pounds less. He was like, but I'm gonna get one. I'm like, well, damn rights we are, man. Like, like when he walked up to that deadlift.
Yeah.
He's like, we have no business touching this.
I was like, all right, I don't know that he has this. I should have said that, but I knew.
Oh no, he loved it.
I knew that he would.
Yeah, he's such a good sport.
Yeah.
So I did some little technique changes with Michelle. I'm like, okay, I don't coach her. She's her own athlete. She has her own stuff. Yeah. I'm like, man, Adams are anyways. They're a couple. I like her. So I did some little technique changes, and I think she hit like 4 or 6 reps more than she ever did.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, sweet, that paid off for her.
She is somebody who like the strength is there.
Well, she's got the best deadlift out of all the women in our sport.
Yeah, that's she's at 450, right?
Yeah, for sure. That thing 460, 450, 465, some deadlift.
Crazy. And that's
I shouldn't say it. I guess Mara and Ariel are right there too.
But they haven't hit that in competition.
No, I gotta watch that because I always get pee-pee slapped after these episodes.
Well, shit. If you guys, we want.
You're all great people.
We want to know what everyone's doing. We want to know what everyone's capable of. So you got to make sure you're always competing, so that we can always keep you fresh in our heads.
Yeah, I'm old. I don't remember shit.
That's the thing. I remember the last thing that was in front of me, and that's it.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
You forget to mention one person. Like, well, I didn't see you for a week.
I'll watch the deadlift, and I'll be like, man, that Emmerdale is the best deadlifter who's ever lived. And then the next guy goes, and Tom goes. I'm like, damn, that Tom is the best deadlifter.
Yeah,
who's
who is
ever
Emmerdale
lived.
anyways? Is he even at the show?
Yeah. It just comes and goes like that.
Just remember, you're listening to 2 strongmen.
Yeah.
Talk about memory and.
I've also have significant CTE from wrestling too. So let's just give me a break here, all right?
Yeah, I fell 20 feet out of my head. I'm sure there's something wrong with that thing.
Yeah, Devin's got all kinds of mental problems. Don't leave Devin alone too.
Okay, so back to the open division.
No, men's Masters light.
Oh yes.
So we had Jan take that one. Another really fun competitive division. Chris Chuckery really showed up. BJ really showed up. Adam's there. He's the lightest guy in the competition, bar none.
Oh yeah.
And he just makes it fun, has a good time, gets what he can get. And then next year, he's doing kind of what Martin's doing, where he's going to be like, I'm going to really make an effort to just better myself a little bit every time that I compete and do.
Yeah, I think Adam's goal next year, try not to take a 0.
Sure, and that's a hell of a goal.
That was Martin's goal.
Yep.
I just want to not take a 0.
Yep. Martin had a really big day too, so I'm really excited for how we have a nice off-season plan together.
Sweet.
The men's heavyweight, Trevor, very dominant. I think he won every event, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because who we had? We had BJ and Adam.
Nope.
Chuckery. That was lightweight.
The heavy, we had Trevor, we had Chris, and we had Dan.
Yeah, which props to Trevor.
Yeah.
Because I don't know Trevor's training. You do because you coach him, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I mean, Blakely's always been the dominant in the Masters heavyweight.
Yep.
Blakely's a massive man.
Yep.
He
is. Yeah.
He's strong. I didn't know how Trevor was doing, so I had Blakely winning in my head just because I don't know Trevor's training.
Yeah.
But I mean, Trevor, like you said, in his post 7 years.
Yeah.
He's been in the sport, and finally he got his win.
Yep, and very well deserved.
Good for him.
He trained really hard for it. He showed up. He's here. He works at my gym.
Did I tell you the time I seen him downtown a couple weeks ago?
Nope.
I'm driving down Notre Dame, getting close to Donald there, and I see this dude waddling down the sidewalk.
Hell yeah.
Like a waddle. And I'm like, there's only one dude I know who waddles with that kind of finesse. and I drive past, and it's Trevor. He's just...
It's got to be Trevor. Absolutely. Beautiful.
I laugh, yeah.
Yeah, Trevor's going to Nationals. He's one of the few guys from Manitoba who'll be going to Nationals.
Oh, wow, he is, eh?
Yeah, he really wants to get on that podium for the Masters Heavy, and I love that goal. So we're going to start working on that right away. He's a guy where, like I said, he showed up, he did the work, he practiced, and it was just evident. It really just showed that day that he looked like he knew what he was doing.
Yep.
I'm happy that actually all three, my gym here houses all three of the big old dogs, the Masters heavyweights. Dan, I just started working with him. We got some work we're gonna do in this off season. Chris comes here and does his own thing, but he's just like the nicest guy. I love having him here. He's just a very, very chill,
such a mellow,
calming influence in the gym, which I like. So that was our Masters, and then in the Open, man, like. You want to talk about a competitive division. We said it was going to be. We said it would be.
You had Jeremy winning, and Jeremy won.
Jeremy won.
And pretty dominant. I know you don't want, he's your athlete, but he, because I have athletes in there too.
Yep.
And Jeremy impressed me.
He impressed me too. Yeah, he made a post and he said that we had a plan and it worked, and he's right. This is one of the competitions where we went in with an intention of how we were going to attack all the different events, and very often that's just not the case. Very often you go in and you're like, well, I'm just gonna do the best that I can in everything, right? Because that's just whatever. But we knew that there was specific things that we could hit harder than others.
Yeah.
We knew that there were specific things that the athletes, the other guys, that's the positive. I think it's positive, is that when we compete against all these people, we know everybody. We can really start to plan against like strategies against people and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I knew that X athlete would be good at this one and not so good at this one and stuff. So we kind of worked around that, and it worked out really well. And not to take away anything from the fact that he's just getting really big and strong right now.
Yeah, he is.
You saw him
that guy weighing?
Oh, dude, he's got to be 315, 320 right now. Like I saw him on the podium. He's fucking gigantic.
Yeah.
Like Langelar is a very big guy, and Jeremy was right there with him in terms of size. So they're looking big, and so the Conan's wheel was it was a good one for everyone. I think the only person who was easy for was Natasha. She was just walking.
Yeah, maybe we made that a little too late.
God damn it! Like we can't win for losing here, but
she just got tired and just
she
bored.
Just got bored and put it down. Yeah. But the Conan's wheel was a good one. It was heavy enough for the guys. It's an interesting one in that you have to be strong and also have a level of fitness to you too.
Yep.
A level of coordination to you too. You wouldn't think so. You're just walking in circles, but you really do.
There is a level, yes.
Yeah, and Jeremy really exhibited all those things, which worked out well for him. He took the W in that one. The next one we had was the Viking press, and I'll say this, and I don't know if Mabu should listen to this or not, but that was some of the ugliest Viking press technique that I've ever seen that worked. I've seen uglier.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But it didn't work.
Yeah.
But that was the ugliest that I've ever seen that worked. He's up on his toes.
For Bushi.
It was the craziest shit. And I was like, but he just keeps banging out reps. So I was like, well.
But he won.
He tied with Brian for first in that one. Him and Brian both tied for first in that one. That was one where Brian didn't have the performance that he wanted on the Conans, but he really showed up in the Viking press. So they tied for first, and then Jeremy and Andrew tied for.
See, and that's where I had Brian doing really well was the Viking, the Conans, and the frame.
Yeah.
And the Conans, that'll come down to a little bit of comp experience and something that maybe I didn't drill enough as, maybe I need to do more as better as a coach. But when he grabbed that thing, I looked at him like, because afterwards he's like, Devin, I don't know what went wrong. He's like, I when he got to his first half turn, he was almost out.
Right.
He was seeing stars, and he was almost out. And I'm like, and when he picked it up, he was so red-faced. I'm like, I knew exactly what happened because I've done it. Is he went, grabbed that sucker, short breath, held his breath so long, picked it up, and didn't breathe for his first 5 or 10 steps.
Okay.
Out of just like first event, just adrenaline, lack of confidence. It's his first year.
Yeah.
And I seen it by the time he got to that half turn. I'm like, oh, the guy was purple.
Right.
And I'm like, we're screwed.
Right.
We're screwed. You can't catch your breath in an event.
It looked like his head was about to pop off by the time he got to the end of
and
that
was, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So that's just the way the cart. That's comp experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it worked well for some guys.
And that's not taken away from anybody else.
No.
I don't know if he would have beat those times anyways.
Oh yeah.
But
he could have gotten a little more than he
yeah.
got.
Yeah.
So the Viking press, Bergen and Bushi both did really well in that one. The deadlift, I think we all figured that was Langlar's to take home. Like he's the.
But poor Langler, the guy had a pile of puke outside.
Oh yeah, he puked his guts out after the deadlift.
Every event.
Oh really?
So when he rolled in the morning, I looked at him and he had bags. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, I've been sick since Magnus.
Oh,
like
boy,
he's
boy.
like,
I didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah. He's like, I haven't been able to breathe, like respiratory, coughing. I've been sick. He's like, but I'm here. I need to make nationals. He didn't know that he wouldn't. Like he's like, I need to win to make nationals. So after the third event, once he was puke after death, I'm like, oh, by the way, you make nationals regardless.
Yeah. you just podium, right?
Well, because one of the guys didn't have an SC membership, top 3 goals.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah,
right,
but
right.
I didn't want to tell him that. I wanted him to work hard.
I want him to work hard too. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he did.
But dude, that guy was. Oh, that deadlift, he was outside.
Yeah, he's. Well, that's and then as I was watching him, I was like, he's not in that kind of shape where he should be puking after a deadlift. I mean, it happens. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've done it many times. But
Yeah, you did it at Magnus.
Oh yeah. I guess what I meant to say was that level of exertion for him is not typical.
Because that deadlift wasn't massive for him.
No, not for him.
No.
And that's why I was surprised because it was like relatively low reps. I think he got like 7 or something. Where, yeah.
But no, he was sick as a dog.
Yeah, I did puke after. That's right.
Yeah. You gave your interview and then went and puked your brains out.
To lay down.
Yeah.
So after the deadlift, which was all Langlar, Jeremy got the points he needed in that one, and Langlar just we knew that we weren't going to get past him on that one, and that's fine.
And Brian has PR 3 reps. He got 7.
Jeremy got 5.
Jeremy got 5. Brian got 3. Did Matt pull it?
I don't think Matt got it.
No, Matt hadn't trained since Vita.
Right.
Hasn't even been in the gym.
Really?
He's like, no, I signed up and I'm coming to have fun.
Oh,
nice to Matt because that's why we like Matt because he
Yes,
just shows up to throw down.
And also he's good enough that he can kind of do that.
Well, he
in a
still
way,
still got 3rd.
Yeah. So he's
Brian was a PR at 3
nice
because it's still 665 for reps.
for sure.
Yeah.
So that's sweet.
I think his PR deadlift off the floor was 675 or 685.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then the frame, which was really I wouldn't have picked it, but was the event to watch in this competition for these
Holy
open
crap.
guys. Brian and Bushi went first, and we literally would have needed we had 2 referees with 2 stopwatches. We're doing what we can do, but we really needed the fucking Olympics laser.
I don't know who actually. I know Matt won on the time.
Yeah.
Because I blow the whistle, so my time's gonna be click on mine.
Yeah.
Dan's your time and hits. He click if we had laser finish, I would like to see how close it really was.
It was
because we were
extremely
0.3 of a second different.
Muriel filmed it and showed it to me, and I was like, even with the video, I was like, I don't know.
It wasn't 0.3 of a second different.
No, they were
was
so in step, and they just put it down. It just everything was the exact fucking
Brian
same.
had the jump till halfway. He was about, I would say, not even a foot ahead of Bushi.
Yeah.
Because I'm running beside them watching. Like, holy shit, and they're both from my gym.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And then Brian stutter stepped. He kind of it was a weird stutter step did halfway through. And then Matt, boom, he was there. Yeah. And then they both kept that distance and dropped it. And I'm just like, I don't know who won. But me and Dan short times, the time.
The, and then it was funny because Jeremy was just kind of shit. It's not even a matter of being good and you have to be perfect now to beat them because they fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
They crushed it. And if I were to guess, in a foot race, Langlar and Jeremy probably do beat Brian and Bushi. But, when you're talking about 600 pounds, it's not the same thing.
No, it's
right?
different. Yeah.
So, but sure enough, they went, and Langlar had a nose on him, and then he dropped it. He had one drop. And he still repicked it and finished it super fast.
12 point something.
Yeah, it was crazy how little of a difference that really made.
Yeah, because Langlar at that pace would have won the event.
Yes,
and then he tripped or whatever he dropped or whatever happened.
It, yeah, Jeremy just snuck out just ahead of the other 2 guys.
Yeah.
And that I think that pretty much sealed the competition for him. I think he had to get 1 sandbag or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Bushi would have had to have won the sandbags to do something about it. I think.
Well, no, because it was 16. Langlar's 12.5. Brian and Matt were tied at 11.5, I think it was.
Yeah, he got points on the last. I don't
so
remember.
3.5 points. It would have been Jeremy would have had to take a 0 on the bag.
Yeah, that's.
And Langlar would have. No, I think Jeremy still would have won.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how it worked out. Thrones told me, and I believed him.
Yeah.
And the sandbag to shoulder was. I think it was actually a pretty good event. I was pretty happy with that. I wasn't entirely sure how I was going to go going into it, but I think the weights were appropriate. Guys were struggling where we wanted them to struggle.
I beat Mocha on our group chat yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, which girl loaded it? Was it Melissa Peacock did a 250 sandbag to shoulder?
I mean, probably.
I think, and I sent the video in our Strongman group chat with me, him, Brian, and Abby.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just saying, Matt. Then he comments back. He comments back. Yeah, but did she just do a 600-pound frame before this? Like,
it's like probably.
Like it was just a comedy. We're always bantering back and forth.
That's funny. Yeah, they the sandwich shoulder was won by Jeremy. Again, he just practiced it. He practiced it a lot.
Yeah.
He was really on the ball with it, and we knew that was one that if it came down to it, that was one that he could take.
Yeah.
So we were pretty happy with that. This season of just like, so Pat beats Langelar at Tolstoy. Langelar beats me at Manitoba Strongest Man.
Yeah. You beat Langelar at Magnus
and Westerns, and then we have Jeremy beats Jeremy gets
Langelar
him here, and it's just like
Brian beat them at Vita. Did Jeremy win Vita?
Jeremy won Vita.
Yeah, because it was Langelar. No,
Yeah.
Pat beat Langelar.
And I don't mean to use Langelar as like this constant thing, but it was
No,
just,
but
he just did a lot of the competition.
The
this
open
year.
the open division did this all year. There was
Yeah.
never a consistent winner in our open division.
I guess Langelar probably did the most competitions this year out of any
Oh, yeah.
guys, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
But I'm saying our open division was up and down.
It was
Every
all over the
competition was
place.
up and down.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really exciting and really fun to watch. Where guys there was no guaranteed wins. There was no guarantee. Not to suck on my own dank, but I would say that Manitoba Strongest Man was probably the closest thing to like a guaranteed win, and it didn't happen.
Is Jeremy doing nationals?
No, unfortunately not. It's just not in the budget this year. But
Yeah. That is the hard part about this nationals is where it is.
Yeah,
It's. I always talk about inflation, but with inflation, our current market, it's not feasible for a guy like, I don't know what Jeremy does for a living.
He's an engineer, but he's a young guy who
Dude's
just
an engineer.
Yeah,
Well, he's smart too.
He's really smart. Yeah, he just moved in with his girlfriend, and they got all kinds of stuff going on. So they're not trying to. It's just not feasible, whatever. But next year, I want to see him at Westerns. I want to see him in the Magnus show.
Yep.
I want to see him at nationals, and I think that those and that's the same thing with Langelar. The same thing with Pat.
Yeah, I talked to Brian too about next year Westerns, about maybe going.
Yeah, I think
I honestly think that our opens vision, all 4 men should be going to Westerns, at least doing the like getting into qualifier,
absolutely.
and see how they pan out.
Yeah, especially with it being. The word is that it'll be a little more central next year. I don't have any confirmations on that or anything, but that's the buzz. So it'll be like an easier thing to get to, which will be nice. It'll be a drive if you want to do it.
Yep.
So I'm really excited to see some new Manitoba faces populating that stuff. Like I said, I really hope that Pat has a big off season, comes back.
Because besides you and Dom, I went to Westerns, but I bombed. Me and Chris went. But besides you and Dom in the last 10 years, because I was Westerns 2012, and I was 240 pounds going to Westerns. I was small. We've never been even someone who was talked about at Westerns.
Yeah.
Manitoba's never been like, oh man, you see the new guys coming out of Manitoba to Westerns here?
Yeah.
It's always been Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC.
Yep.
Manitoba's always been the armpit that just comes in to fill up the bottom of the placings.
Right.
Besides you and Dom.
Yeah, and
like.
It's really exciting now because there's guys like Dan's an obvious one where he's gonna he's
sorry, and yes.
No, but you're talking about finishing.
I'm talking about
and Dan is going there to every time to do a little better than he's done. And just he's aware fully that he's going to be a slow and steady kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's not built like Langelar. He's not built like
he doesn't have 6'5".
No. But what he does have is an incredible work ethic, and he's strong as fuck. So he just needs that a little more time than what somebody else might need.
Yeah.
But when you look at say like Westerns and stuff, so we have let's say like Langelar, Dan, we got Jeremy. Let's call them the young guys.
Yeah.
Because everyone else that we have is a little bit older.
Yeah.
Who are the potential guys that could be going. I don't necessarily see those guys, like the equivalent of those guys. I can think of one in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily see those guys in Alberta. And I'm not, and I'll say right now that I'm not super familiar with the Alberta scene. So if there's somebody out there who's like just this phenom that's coming up, sorry. But I know there are some guys in BC because I'm.
Well, if they had 100 people at Provincials, you'd know there's going to be some monsters coming out.
There's going to be some guys in BC.
Yeah.
But there's guys in there's guys in Manitoba who, if they stick with it and this is a passion for them that they maintain, in the next 5-6 years, you might be adding some more names to that list of guys from Manitoba who go to Westerns to get a podium spot, to go to Canadians to try to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a really exciting time to be a Manitoba.
Well, I'm sure you want to be back at Canadians one day.
More than anything, that's like my number one goal in Strongman right now. The Magnus wasn't one of my goals that I'd set for myself to do. I honestly didn't know how realistic that goal was when I had said it, but I was like, that's one that I really like to do. And then my other goal is to do CSM twice more, because that would make it so that I've been there more times than anybody else from Manitoba.
Okay.
But it's tall order. And it gets taller every year.
Well, because the level of competition in the West is crazy.
It gets stiffer and stiffer all the time, so you never really know what like I could show up and have a great competition one year, and then next year could look completely different. That's what's happened.
Just what events are chosen too.
Yeah, 2022 was great for me. 2023 was not. So it's just
Westerns, Larson's here, and then Magnus, you beat him.
Yeah, absolutely. That's to what we were saying before. This idea that there's like this up and down on the local level. It's on the pro level too.
Absolutely.
You know, like Brian Kitchton, who got second in there at the Magnus show. He made the top 10 in the Arnold's amateurs,
which is crazy.
That's like because I don't know that I would do that. You know what I mean? So it's just like these ups and downs are. Hey,
shout out Corey. Just gave me a donation on Deadlift Dreams.
Hey, shout out Corey.
Thanks, buddy.
Speaking of not donations, sponsorships.
Jeremy Wiens Realty.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Jeremy Wiens Realty.
Jeremy Wiens Realtor. That's exactly what I was about to say.
We said like 4 episodes. We would never say that again.
Jeremy Wiens was at Provincials. I saw him there.
Yeah.
And in the interest of some confidentiality, we won't say who, but we did make a meet and greet with one of our listeners who was interested in buying a property.
Yes.
So it works. The system works.
Yep.
We've said before that we love this idea that we're creating sort of a small network of an ever growing network of people in our community where if you need something, we got somebody for you. If you need a house sold, we got somebody for you.
Well, dude, I had a call last night from a guy I competed with. I'm not going to say who. In 2010, 11, 12, I trained with.
Yeah.
He was one of the older guys then. Called me last night. Hey, still doing siding? We've kept in touch over the years, and our only connection was Strongman. Called me last night. Hey, I got 9 commercial buildings I need redone.
Amazing.
You still doing the siding? Yeah. Sent him over estimate for all 9 buildings. It's gonna be a big job. I don't know if I'll get it. I got to tender it, obviously, but that's what I like about this community.
Absolutely.
It's if we ever need something, there's someone in the community we can reach out to.
Yep. And Jeremy Wiens is that person for if you need real estate, if you need somebody to buy, sell, consult, whatever it might be. If you need a guy that's going to be a friend to you, friendly, like he's not here to wring you dry. He's not here to make this a business transaction. He's interested in meeting people and getting involved in the community, which he's shown over and over and over again by not only attending but volunteering, being part of competitions. Maybe doing a novice competition at some point.
That'd be wild.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, he'd be a master too, master heavyweight.
Yeah, so shout out to Jeremy Wiens. Shout out to his realty. Shout out to him being a realtor, whichever one it might be. We apologize 1,000 times for never remembering. We love you, Jeremy. We really do.
You want authentic advertising? Here it is.
Yeah, this is real off the cuff shit. We could write it down, but we don't. Yeah. We never write anything down.
We
for
will
the show.
never ever do that.
In fact, before we sat down, I said, "What do you want to talk about?" And I pulled up my phone to write stuff down, and I can show you I have nothing written down on it. So I just didn't do it. So this is all. If it wasn't extremely obvious, it's all off the cuff. So I wanted to touch base a little bit too. Anything else you want to say on Provincials? I was pretty much ready to wrap on that, but
yeah, I had something to say, and I've gone out the window.
We'll say, shout out to Brett Hubbard, who was our volunteer that won our draw. We did a draw for an SBD belt.
Yep.
And she won, and she's not really so much a gym person herself, but her husband,
and expecting a baby,
and also expecting a baby.
Yeah.
And her husband Dean, who was trying to get himself into shape. Shout out, Dean. You've probably seen him, the guy with the curly mullet who helps at all of our competitions.
The mullet.
He's going to get a nice SBD belt from his wife. What a beautiful thing, right?
Yeah, we were measuring it last night, and because you had asked me, we were talking, you're like, man, like you realized if Dean was in the gym, and I'm like, you know what, he started with me 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and good for him.
He's having a baby. He's like, I need to set an example for my kid.
Yep.
I need to lose weight. I need to get healthy. I want to be more than just a dad. I want to be the best dad. Like I've never seen I'm telling you, Tyler, I have kids. We have lots of people community kids. I've never seen a guy so damn excited to have a kid.
That's great.
It blows my mind every day. It's like whatever, man. You're having a kid. It's exciting. Like, the dude is just tickled pink, man.
That's great.
So he's in the gym with me. He's down some weight already in his first 2 weeks.
Good for him.
So we ordered the belt a little smaller. Because I'm like, you need to set a goal to get into.
Yes.
So good for him. He's like, I don't. And then last night, I don't need this belt, Devin. Like, why am I going to get the belt? There's probably some kid who needs it, some competitor who's like, I don't need to lift heavy enough for a belt. I'm like, Dean,
our community is too giving. That's the problem. Like you can't give somebody something nice in our community because they're just like somebody else probably needs it more. Yeah, probably, but it's for you, so you get it. That's how it's going to work right now. But that was our really small demonstration of just how much we appreciate what our volunteers are doing for us. Provincials was the cap on that, where we saw Janaea, who volunteered at 4 competitions. Dean volunteered at 4 competitions, like Brett at 3. Lots of people did 3. We had Brendan Wood, who is visiting from Quebec in the city here. He just came and volunteered.
Dude, he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, he just wanted to help out, and we can't say enough good things about this community that comes and helps us out. You guys are
that is one thing
amazing.
About Provincial. I'll say, I was telling, I forget who was talking to the crowd, but because after I lost Brian this year to competing, because he was my main man for putting on shows last couple of years. Janaea was the girl I rely on, and Brian is my main dude.
Yeah.
And he decided to compete here, which is amazing. And I was like, I'm screwed without Brian.
That's a huge
like
hit.
everyone's like, I get a lot of the credit putting on the shows, but
we were joking about it, but it's not really a joke.
No,
like,
and then Dean stepped up last year and started helping with nationals.
Yep.
And took the role.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't have to worry about nothing. I go to those comps. These comps are actually getting easier for me.
Yep.
I don't even have to worry about weight change anymore. I maybe checked some things. There's maybe I went in and did something, and they pretty much told me to get the hell out of this last comp. Like I went to Deadlift or something like that, and they put and just act like I did something, and just like kind of like my micromanaging problem that I have, and they're just like, get out of here. Like, we have this, you idiot.
And you mentioned this to me before, but what you kind of start to realize is that Brian actually sucked at the job.
Yeah.
He's actually pretty
like
bad.
Brian actually kind of Conan's wheeled that whole job of ours.
Yeah, he was really what was holding Manitoba Strongman back.
Holy shit. I'll have to fight him in the gym now this week. Thanks a lot.
So
Sunday morning I'm scrapping.
So thanks to everybody who came out for Provincials.
Big thanks. We didn't mention enough Ryan Fraze.
Yeah.
So Ryan's the one who set us up with this Winkler comp.
Let's take that moment.
He did a lot of the back end work with securing the venues. He got our axles made. He did a bunch of work for the venue. Helped me. I didn't have the right bolts because just me being stupid. Yep. Went and got me bolts. Went and got me stuff. He was running around he was running around since like 8 in the morning of the comp and then competed.
Yep. That's amazing.
So shout out to Ryan, the Forge Gym. He did a ton of work. He secured the show for the years to come.
Yep. He's doing a lot for the community in the Pembina Valley there.
Yeah.
He's opened
Him and
the
Ariel
gym
both.
both of them.
Yeah.
We don't want to not acknowledge Ariel in this too, because they're a marriage and a partnership. They work together.
Yeah.
I also want to touch a little bit on the upcoming events this weekend. We have nothing here locally, thankfully, but we have Strongest Man on Earth and the Shaw Classic Open.
That's some exciting shit.
Very exciting. I can't wait to watch that. I've seen a couple people be like, it's like a pay thing. Fucking pay for it.
Yeah.
Pay for the event and watch it.
These same dudes will spend $100 a month on OnlyFans.
Fuck.
To stare at something they can never touch.
That drives me. Yeah, eventually you can touch Tristan when he comes here and does the show.
You could touch the same as the things you're paying OnlyFans?
No.
For one, you couldn't touch, and two, they wouldn't let you touch them anyways.
Not touching that shit. It's just one of those things where it's like, man, and I'm pretty sure, and I don't want to oversay anything, but I think that it's one of those things where like the income of the show affects like the purses that the athletes get and stuff. Like,
I believe so.
I think that's the case.
I believe Brian said that directly goes to purses.
Shout out to that show for just being fucking awesome, and I'm really excited where it's the events are cool.
You see his prize bags?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Oh,
yeah, they made ours.
I felt so shitty after. I seen that post yesterday. I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. Yeah.
Hey, thanks to Gian for getting those little paper bags from Michaels too. I appreciate her doing that very last second.
I was wondering where you got those bad boys from.
Those are they got there a minute before I did to start filling them up. So we have a lot of familiar faces in this one. A lot of friends of the Manitoba scene here, which we're very excited to see them compete over the Strongest Man on Earth, which is I for my money is probably the number 3 show right now after Worlds and the Arnolds.
Yes,
Worlds really just because of the name, and maybe by calling it Strongest Man on Earth, we can start to see a little more of a counterbalance on that. Which
I'm hoping so.
Yeah, if you can call yourself the Strongest Man on Earth, it's kind of like calling yourself the world's strongest man. So we got Wester Winsky from Ontario. We got our boy Tristan Hoth from Alberta. And we got Mitch Hooper from Australia. And Max Boudreau. Can't wait to see how he does after North Americans. I want to see him ride that wave. He's a guy where he's intense, he's high octane, and I have to believe that after a big win like at Nationals, he's fucking just foaming at the bit to have this competition. I got to believe that. Lucas Hatton. Friend of the show, Lucas Hatton. He's
don't remember him, but
yeah, he's a good guy actually. He's
shout out to Alec Jose. You busted my balls. At least he commented on our YouTube last week.
There you go. What a nice guy.
It means he listens.
He's a guy where I think that he probably takes in any kind of strongman
stuff that he
Yeah.
can.
Well, he's probably learning from us.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying.
Probably why
he's tuning in for an education, which I'm happy to give. You know?
Yeah, so he coaches some of the strongest people near us, but he probably needs to learn a couple tips.
Yeah, but is he coaching Deloli?
Yeah, clearly, he needs to learn how to gauge height.
Yeah, you deal with Deloli for a season, and then you tell me who's the best fucking coach on earth. Okay. So yeah, we got Lucas Haddon, who's for my money probably out of all of our crew of boys there, probably finished the highest.
Yeah.
I think that I could see him getting as high as 4th, I'd be willing to say. I think that it's between Tom, Mitch, and Hafthor.
Yeah.
For the top
Glad
3.
to see him back.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see him back. He's a guy that I kind of wrote off for a while when he was just doing all that silliness with Eddie.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I just don't care about this. It's not exciting to me. It's not interesting.
You imagine me and Eddie and talking that much shit, losing that boxing match?
Yeah, God. And that match too.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Like it was just that really disinterested me in the whole thing with Eddie and Thor in general.
Yeah.
And that remains to this day with Eddie. But Thor coming back, getting fucking strong again,
Dude.
being competitive, bringing eyes to the sport again. Love it.
He's got a big following, so it does.
Love that. I think that he's going to have a hell of a performance. There's like a max deadlift, which is really exciting. There's going to be a lot of cool shit.
I see him winning that.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. His squats are off the fucking charts right now,
That's
too.
disgusting
like,
when he does it for. Yeah.
But so is Lucas.
Yeah.
His squats are fucking crazy right now. There's just a few events that I'm really looking forward to. And it's gonna be awesome. If you're looking at right now, just so we can look back on it and see who was right. Who's your pick to win for that one?
In the Open?
Yeah. No, in the strongest man on earth.
Yeah. Man, I've got the same top 3 as you.
Yeah.
Hooper's just so consistent, and I haven't seen him compete against. He hasn't competed against Hafthor yet.
No.
So,
yes, the Arnold.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Hafthor's. Yeah, that wasn't Hafthor's best showing.
No. I gotta give it to Hooper, I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking Hooper. Yeah, it's gonna be those 3. I don't know what order. I would say Hooper, Stoltman. You can never count out. I think Hafthor's gonna look to make an impression. So
yeah.
I think Hafthor might take 2nd, and Stoltman 3rd.
Yep, I could see that. I think that would make sense. I could see it going Hooper and then the other 2 alternating.
Yeah.
But
in saying that, it just takes one flaw.
And you look at some of the other names like Evan Singleton's in there too.
That's what I was just going to say.
Trey Mitchell. These are guys that you can't just be like, oh well, whatever.
I think those top
what I mean?
3 are going to be within like 6 or 7 points to each other.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a tight gap.
A little bit of a dip, I think.
Yeah, and then I think you'll see a bit of a gap.
Yeah,
to the
Bobby
next guy.
Thompson. Like, there's lots of guys here who are really fucking good. It's hard to really be willing to completely dismiss a lot of them. Also, we got in the Open, the Shaw Open. We've got a lot of familiar, friendly faces in that one, too.
Yes.
We got Jeffers, we got Jackie, we got Mel, we got Sam. We got lots of Canadian representation in that one. I know there's more. I know, guys. I know there is. I'm sorry. Like, anybody who's going there, I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah.
I think that Olivia Hoyam from Alberta, I believe, is going down to do it, which is awesome.
I don't even know who that is.
She was in our
shit.
She was a very young competitor who came into nationals for us, and she's a bright, smiling, shining
Shout
face.
out Olivia.
Yeah, she's a very nice part.
Clearly, she cares about my opinion. So
she's a good person in strongman.
Yeah.
So we and I.
How do you think Derwinski's going to do?
There's a throw for height.
Yeah.
So he's going to do well in that one.
Yeah.
He's got a good deadlift.
Because with him being the youngest guy in the Open at 21.
Yeah, exactly. At 14 years old, like it's a very challenging.
The first teen to do the strongest man on earth.
I wouldn't. I think he has a good squat. I'm pretty sure. It certainly wouldn't surprise me. Like, he's just like a generally very strong guy. He's good at stones. He has bad luck with them sometimes, but he's good at stones. I think that it could be a really good event for him too.
It's going to be wild, anyways.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I think that him and Tristan will finish very close to each other.
Yeah.
And just like not to glaze over too much, whatever that means. Tristan, he's like, this is the beginning. You know,
yeah.
the world's strongest man was the beginning, whatever. But this is like the continuation, I should say.
Well, Strong and Petty 2023 was really the beginning.
That was the beginning.
This is
just another step after that monumental step. But this is him showing again that it's like, Tristan Hoth here to stay, belongs in this division.
Yeah.
Wes Derwinski, exact same thing. Wes didn't do that giant slide that he did. He has another one coming up, that Glasgow one. So they've got some really big opportunities to show that these are two new faces that you're going to start seeing around more often. Yeah. And they're not guys that are going to pop in and pop out, but they're guys who are ready and they've been waiting for this kind of opportunity. Especially Wes, who's like, in all seriousness, is like a younger dude compared to some of these other guys. Like he's got some time to put in and is ready to compete at this level for quite some time, I think, as long as he stays healthy. So it's really exciting to see that kind of representation from Canada, whereas these two guys who are just ready to do it and are fully capable. Yeah. And it's going to be awesome. I think that Jeffers has a really good chance of getting either on the podium or very close.
Yeah, he's really gunning for that. Yep.
I think that this will be an interesting next several shows for him, where he has Shaw, he has CSM, he has OSG, and he has big goals for all these shows. Yep. He wants to podium at OSG, he wants to podium at CSM, I'm sure he wants to podium at the Shaw. I think that the Shaw is probably the tallest order.
Yes.
Of those.
That field's pretty deep.
Yeah, there's like really.
That's turning into the show.
Yeah. The
Arnold's always the show, and this is turning into the show that you want to be at.
There's an interesting little wrinkle here that I don't like this, but this is what they're doing. The first 3 events in the Shaw Open are all dictated by order of registration. The first 3 events.
First 3.
So the second event is in no way influenced by the points in the first one, and the third is in no way influenced by the points in the first.
That's interesting.
Yes, and Jeffers is pretty sure that he was the first person to register. So he might be last to go in the first 3 events.
Now that would be wild.
Or he'd be very. He feels like he's very close. He told me that. I hope that wasn't supposed to be a secret.
He's competing by the time this episode comes out.
True. There you go. Yeah, good point. So, but I don't like that rule. I think that's really kind of dumb, to be honest with you. But it's
kind of really, it takes a lot of strategy out of it.
There's a lot of strategy out of it. Yeah. And it's not hard to reorder a list.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But it's like, whatever. That's the way they're doing it.
Hey, something different, something cool.
Yeah, something different.
Don't like it?
Don't like it, but that's okay.
Being the strongest man on earth.
It's not my show. So they
don't like it. You just win and go to strongest man on earth.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you got to do is get out of the system.
Yeah.
So best of luck to anybody who's doing that competition that
Yes.
we're even the slightest bit remotely connected to. I love seeing so many people that we're friends with, that we know, that we talk to, competing on these high level competitions. It's just great to see.
Yeah.
So to get to our own little schedule here, I actually wrote this part. I did write down. I actually did write down our schedule because we have so many things coming up here still somehow.
Not too bad.
This day before yesterday. If you didn't do it, I'll give you one more day. But the day before yesterday was the registration, or yesterday when this comes out, was registration ending for the Terry Hadlow thing that's happening tomorrow. Starting here, 12 weeks, Olympic lifting coaching geared towards strongman. Terry Hadlow is a former Olympian. He's the best coach of weightlifting in Manitoba. He's one of the most acclaimed coaches of probably any sport in Manitoba. This is a rare opportunity. If you want to improve your overhead, I really urge you to do it. And if you don't, go fuck yourself. Do you want to pull up the Deadlift for Dreams thing?
Yeah.
Deadlift for Dreams on September 7th. We're eking ever closer towards that big goal. We're getting towards like that. Once we get that 30-day mark, we're going to start seeing some real big jumps in that one, which I'm really excited to see.
We're at the 30-day mark.
Well, then we're going to start seeing it. We're going to.
This past weekend was 30 days, and we actually had a big jump this week.
We did? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look right into my crystal ball for that one.
So right now, that's mine. Sorry, I was on my.
Oh, mine would be easy to read. 0.
Have you not raised any money yet?
I got it coming. Don't worry. I got it all figured out.
We are at 21,955.38. So I think that's 3,000 more than last week.
Nice. Wow. Really? Holy smokes.
Yeah.
36%. That's awesome. And the thing is that it's easy to get lost in like this percentages and numbers and stuff. We're raising $20,000
exactly
by deadlifting for sick kids in the province. Like,
and this is what I like to see. Like if I look at these donations in the last today, like Corey had a nice big one. Thank you, Corey. Like this lady to Lane, $30.75. Next one, $50. Next, $33.33. I like to, like it's nice to see these big ones of like, hey, you reach $500. This person gave $100.
Yeah.
But these ones for $20, $30,
just giving what you can.
That just means it's people who aren't wealthier, don't have a ton to give, but they're still willing to give as much as they possibly can.
Just give something.
I love to see those small donations.
And it might seem silly, but like just taking the time to pull your phone out and do it too is like a really nice thing to do. You know what I mean? I know that we're all busy, we all got shit going on.
Yeah.
And if I asked you, if I walked up to somebody and said, "Give me $20 for this donation," they would just do it.
Yeah.
But it's that process of pulling out your shit, getting your card, figuring it all out.
That's very true.
Yes. So when someone does that, it really means a lot.
Yeah. So thank you for that.
Yes. September 7th. On September 15th, Brick House is holding the 7th annual Brick House Classic.
Hold on, let's back that up.
Okay.
August 31st, Chris Chuckery and Rose from your gym here,
yes,
Iron Age, are putting on a breathwork. And a breathwork.
It's like a hot and cold explosion.
Yeah, it's a hot and cold explosion breathwork day at Training Grounds Gym, my gym in St. Malo. They've got a sauna coming. They've got cold tubs coming. That Chuckery's rent, he spent and put all his money because He's
trying to break even, he said. He's not trying to make
that's
a dime.
That's all. He doesn't even want to make a dime. He really changed his life last year in terms of like, he got in a group, and a lot of it's based on cold therapy, sauna therapy, and breathwork. That's really changed his life. Like, Chuck has taken a really big turn for the positives last year, which is amazing to see. And he wants to share what's changed his life with other people.
Right.
With meditation, different things. So he's not charging much. I put links on Manitoba Strongman, Training Grounds, mine. I'll share it again this Saturday. Hopefully I'll remember on stories. But check it out. Reach out to them. It's going to be a cool day. Of course, I'm not even there myself because that's September long.
Right.
And I'm gone. But reach out. If you're into anything like that, check it out, please.
Rose is one of our strong woman competitors here.
Yeah,
too. Chucky's one of our strongman competitors. Like,
and Rose is a licensed breathwork.
Yeah, she does all that shit. Yeah,
practitioner, whatever you'd say. So it's really cool.
She's a trained one. Yeah,
because Chucky did it on his own. And then Rose reached out. Hey, I want to be a part of this thing. Is what it was, which is amazing.
So we
community again.
Yeah, put people together. That's what we love to see here. So skipping back forward again, Brick House, September 15th. Get registered for that one. It's being held at the Brick House. They're one on Route 90 there.
Yeah.
Men's and women's division over and under, which is like a nice, fun, old school way to do it.
Yep.
Over and under 231, and then the women's is over and under 73 kg, I think.
Yep.
On November 9th, we have our grip competition here being hosted and judged by Canadian grip champion James Jeffers on right here at Iron Age. First time we've ever done something like this in Manitoba, where a buddy of mine was telling me that like a group of people that he's never are friends of his that have no connection to the gym, have never talked about it, were saying that they signed up for this grip competition that they've heard about. So
we need to get the arm wrestlers from Manitoba on board.
We need to get the arm wrestlers on board. I'm gonna text Jose today about that.
Yeah.
But we wanted to see people of all walks of life. All like if you think that your sport, your work, your trade, whatever, if you got those fucking dick rippers on you, sign up.
Nice to see Ryan Espy come out.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I would love Ryan Espy to come out. Shout out, yeah. If you
have a connection to Ryan,
give him a message.
Yeah, bug him to come out.
I gotta look up the date here. I'm sorry. On November, 2 weeks later.
Well, November 16th.
Right.
Nathan Payton coming out Training Grounds Gym.
Yep. The rescheduling.
Upgrade the poster, but $80.
Yep.
Come, it's my seminar. I gotta look for you. $80.
I know. Don't worry. I got it all.
Yeah, $80 coming out. He's doing. He's doing a ton of work. He's at the Strongest Man on Earth this weekend doing a seminar.
Yep.
He's at I think the Rogue doing a seminar. And the amount of reviews that come out on this guy.
Imagine having the opportunity to talk and learn from that guy who is going to be coming off of doing it for the best fucking athletes in the world.
Yeah, who literally all hire him and pay thousands of dollars to have him.
Yep,
coach them.
I could punch you in the face if you don't see the value of this.
So then after that,
November 23rd or 30th.
November 23rd. Tyler's in Iceland.
Yeah, yes. Okay, so it's when I'm in Iceland. So yes, so I'll be going to Iceland, but
when does it go? November 22nd, my birthday, only day that matters in this world.
Yes.
Anyways, after my birthday, November 23rd.
I'll be competing on your birthday.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't win.
So I'll be in Iceland on the 21st, but on the 23rd, my man Thrones is going to be putting on a WRPF meet, a push pull. So bench and deadlift only right here in Iron Age. It's going to be a sanctioned meet. It's going to be untested. And no testing. I don't give a fuck. We're not paying for that shit. And it's going to be all the weight classes, all the divisions, all that stuff. So come down.
Stab me up, ho.
Yeah, that's right. Registration is going to open the Monday after this comes out. So it's by the time you hear this, you got 2 days here to start registering. And it's going to be a really good time. Really looking forward to it. That's pretty much what we have on the calendar for right now.
And if you're one of those like, I don't want to go because, it's Tyler. Tyler's not even going to be there.
I won't even be here. You don't want to have to see
Here's
me.
your chance. Come shit in his washroom.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
without
fuck
him
my
being
place.
here to say nothing.
Absolutely. Fuck my place up and do whatever you want. I won't even know it was you. All right, and with that, I guess we'll leave it for today.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.